Gledswood Homestead, a sprawling country estate with a history marred by mysterious death. Tonight on Haunting Australia.
Could you do that again for me?
Welcome to the gruesome grounds of Gledswood.
I'm getting a very strong get out and I'm going to take that warning.
Alleged to be Australia's most haunted homestead, where 2 centuries of tragedy created a household crawling with supposed spirits. Another chilling challenge for the Haunting Australia team.
From the UK, psychic bad boy Ian Lawman, medium and ordained exorcist, and old-school supernatural sleuth Ray Jordan. From India, ghost hunter and metaphysicist Gaurav Tiwari. From Australia, accomplished paranormal researcher Alan Tiller, and medium clairvoyant Raylene Cable. From the US, internationally renowned lead investigator Rob Demarest.
I've been investigating the paranormal for over 20 years. You name it, I've hunted it. And I believe this team has what it takes to find out what's haunting down under.
Situated in the historic Macarthur region of New South Wales, southwest of Sydney, the once grandiose Gledswood Homestead is a ghostly shadow of its former self. It was once a proud jewel in the crown of local founding family, the Chisholms. First purchased by wealthy merchant James Chisholm in 1830, as a wedding gift for his son Jas, 3 generations would go on to live and die on its expansive grounds. The second suffering heartbreaking losses.
James and Isabel had 7 children. There was Isabel Emmeline. She passed away from scarlet fever at the age of 5.
One of the little girl ghosts regularly reported at Gledswood.
They like to sit outside the door and giggle. So as we sit there quietly, we can hear children going,
Gledswood is allegedly rife with spirit activity, something Managing Director Nadine Clark is all too aware of.
I walked into the main dining room and attempted to open 2 of the French doors which were jammed shut. Couldn't for the life of me open them. I then walked back out of the room, out the front door.
Nadine was shocked to find one of the doors wide open.
I believe there are people living in the house. Whether that's haunted or not, I don't know, but I believe there are people that live here with us every day.
These people include the ghosts of workers past. An 1858 newspaper reports groundsman John Biggs being killed by a falling tree. Is Biggs one of the phantom voices said to drift across the lawn and through the house?
it's so haunted. Every single room there's something going on.
The Haunting Australia team approaches the foreboding foundations of Gledswood, determined to dredge through its dark history and make contact with its otherworldly occupants. As night descends over its historic lawns, every light in the homestead is extinguished. To catch the alleged spirits at play, the rooms of Gledswood have been rigged with CCTV cameras, all leading back to Surveillance Central, where they'll be constantly monitored. In the pitch dark, our paranormal investigators are ready for action. Let the ghostly games begin. Medium Raylene Cable embarks on a solo psychic mission, a high-definition micro-camera rig attached to her body. Ray and Gaurav in Surveillance Central observe her every move.
I'm on my way to the convicts' quarters.
Rather than enter the house, Raylene is drawn to an outbuilding where tragic little Isabel Emmeline, quarantined for scarlet fever, gasped her dying breaths.
I am definitely feeling a lovely little spirit. I just need to sit and let her know. Let her know that I'm actually here now.
Raylene carefully positions a digital recorder to capture EVPs, or electronic voice phenomenon.
She's actually beautiful. She's kind of like showing me that she likes me.
I believe that Raylene's picking up with the daughter who actually died in the convict area, in the convict space.
She's telling me she likes to play. I like to play, I like to play. And I got very, very sick. And she... and I say that my throat just wants to go. I want to cough. So I almost feel like I want to cough. I just feel like, so she's showing me in a vision, and I just see this amazing redness all over her, like being really badly sunburnt. That's the vision I have of her.
Sore throat and a sunburn-like rash are symptoms of scarlet fever. Today, the disease is treated with antibiotics. In 1876, there was no cure.
I thank you very much for having that time with me, and I'm now going to go out the door.
Okay, I'm just about to enter the front house.
Unperturbed by the homestead's fearsome reputation, Ray Jordan is first to enter its dark corridors alone.
Okay, I'm just going to go into this room.
Ray displays ghost-busting bravado as he tries to make contact with James Chisholm, patriarch of the house.
If you're here with me, show yourself. We're not scared of you. Give me any sign you're with me. Give me a tap or a knock. I want to see you.
I've just heard what sounded like a tap coming from one of the rooms, but I can't work out which room it is. My heart is literally racing, and it feels different in here. I am myself right now. I don't know why. Almost feel like someone's going to jump out on me. Oh. Oh. I felt like I was tapped on the shoulder.
Totally spooked, Ray calls a halt to his investigation.
I felt what appeared to be to me a tap on the shoulder, and unfortunately, I bolted out of the house because it startled me.
Was it the ghost of Chisholm?
It could have been Chisholm, it could have been one of the children.
Hearing a mysterious noise behind him, Ray plucks up his courage to investigate. The trail leads to the empty music room.
When I was talking, there sounded like a snap or a tapping noise coming from this area.
Did Chisholm follow Ray? Or was it another of the Gledswood ghosts Ray has researched?
There's a priest who had a big belly. People who come into this room can actually feel him rubbing tummies, and his tummy like a jolly old sailor, if you will, but I don't know.
Intrigued by Ray's supernatural scare, medium Ian Lawman dons a micro-camera rig and heads inside.
Okay, I'm now in what appears to be a central hallway.
Immediately, he senses a strong presence.
That's really, really quickly. I can hear noises straight away. Okay, straight away here, there's a really, really strong male energy. I don't know what connection this energy had with the building at all, but I feel very religious. So I do feel he would have been a religious man, maybe a priest, a vicar.
Could it be the pudgy priest Ray spoke of? Until a church was built in the surrounding district, the Reverend John Paulding, who went on to become the first Archbishop of Sydney, held Mass at Gledswood.
The further I go, I feel feeling. Hello? Hello? I'm hearing voices. Hello? There.
Outside the house, has the supposed spirit of little Isabel taken a shine to Raylene?
I feel like I've got Isabella with me. Isn't that interesting?
And as she approaches Gledswood's cellar, her unearthly escort seems to have a message.
Strangely enough, I just got the words, "Don't go down the cellar." That's always not a nice thing to hear, I guess, but here we go. It's a very unusual type of feeling. It just feels like you're going into a different type of zone. Okay, I'm just going to go into the first part of the cellar, where I almost felt like I saw someone straight away. Is anybody in here? There is definitely someone with me, so I'm just going to let this spirit know that by me placing this recorder, it's an opportunity for you to be able to
The Haunting Australia team is searching for the ghosts of Gledswood, reputedly Australia's most haunted historic homestead. In its gloomy basement, medium Raylene Cable has had a big scare. Ray quickly rushes to her side to find out what spooked her in the dark.
Oh, guys, I think there's a snake in there. I think there's
okay? Are you
I
okay?
think there's a snake in there.
A snake?
A black snake.
Right, we'll have to...
I'm serious, guys.
Let's get you back to control. Come on.
Not eager to investigate, Ray hustles Raylene back to the safety of the control room.
There's a snake down there. Far out. Oh.
Fearless snake hunter Gaurav heads off in search of the rogue reptile. Exploring abandoned sites is not without risk. Australia boasts 9 of the world's 10 most venomous snakes.
And I always knew that I'll come across a snake that could be poisonous. But I'm not afraid of snakes. I love snakes.
It is a snake, but it looks dead. Yep, it is dead.
Gaurav removes the poisonous but deceased red-bellied black snake.
I have to say, you are one brave investigator.
Yes. When you talk about the bravest, I think I'm the one. A man without fear.
You do. I couldn't do what you're doing, but
So, this is your snake, Raylene?
Perhaps Raylene should have listened to her spirit guide.
I just got the words, don't go down the cellar. And that's my fear. My only fear is snakes.
Okay, I think if we go to this convict lockup.
More intrigued by Raylene's supernatural than serpentine experiences, Alan and Ian head to the convict quarters. This is where Raylene believes she connected with the spirit of Isabel Chisholm, who died of scarlet fever. A doll is placed on the floor as a trigger object. Alan decides to increase their chances with an EMF pump, which emits specific frequencies of electromagnetic flux.
The theory is that the spirits are drawn to that.
Will it encourage the spirit of Isabel to put in an appearance?
All this technical equipment frustrates the hell out of me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Just turn it on. And I'll put it...
But Alan pulls out more tech equipment, a vibration detector.
I'm not a psychic. I don't physically see spirits walking around generally day or night.
But apparently, Alan can feel them.
Oh, cold breeze.
Yeah.
Really cold breeze coming from over this side. It's on my right.
Stay
And
there.
just check the window.
You all right?
Yeah, the window is completely shut and enclosed.
Just as
But there it is again.
Just as you said that, I got a full body
Yeah,
shiver.
I just got another one.
Did you?
It almost feels like someone breathing.
Yeah.
But it's really, really cold.
Okay. I've got the full body, so there's somebody with us.
If you can hear me, could you possibly touch the box with the little red light on it for me?
Both investigators believe they can sense the spirit, but from Alan's detector, nothing. Potentially, the science and psychic team of Rob and Raylene will have more success. Gledswood appears to be a hive of spirit activity, so Rob arms himself to the teeth with ghost hunting gear.
For this investigation, I'm going to be using a EVP booster, a paracorder, a temp change monitor. We're going to use a lot of equipment in this investigation. Shh.
The mysterious voices of Gledswood immediately make themselves known.
Who's talking?
To improve his odds of tapping into ghostly chatter, Rob deploys an EVP booster.
And how could it hurt? You know, it's definitely not gonna make things worse.
Like Alan, he's also throwing in an EMF pump.
The idea being that specifically this device will give us the energy for spirits.
The session commences.
Could you confirm that you're okay with us being here in some manner? A sound in the room, a tap on one of our shoulders, speaking loudly enough for us to hear?
With no reaction from the spirit world, Rob takes a more direct approach.
What I need you to do is answer as loudly as you can. Then I'm going to play back the recording. So at the count of 3, please speak as loudly as you can near this recorder. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play this tape back.
The house spirits have gone silent.
A location could have 100 ghosts, but if none of them want to come forward, the place won't seem haunted.
But Raylene insists a spirit did come forward.
All the time you was explaining your recorder, I actually feel I'm giving the name John. And I saw a male just outside of these windows. He had said to me that I'd seen him. You seen me, he said. That's how he said it to me.
So you were having a little chat while I'm trying to do EVP work.
Yeah.
Not happy with either of you at the moment.
Well, that's how it happens. It's not always going to be that they'll jump at things. That's the difference, I guess, between using equipment to using a medium.
With Robin Allen's new school techniques failing to bear paranormal fruit, fellow investigator Ray Jordan employs a different tack.
So my investigation methods are what you would call old school. My old school methods work because I find them very simple, effective, and easy to use.
He feels a gift tray of trigger objects will attract the spirits of the Chisholm children.
Tonight I'm going to be using some soft toys and a toy car with some glow-in-the-dark marbles. And I'm also going to use some powder on a chalkboard, so if we get any imprints or any footprints, handprints, we should be able to see, whether we get something.
Ray's methods are based on the work of pioneering researcher Harry Price, who, early in the 20th century, gained fame exposing fake spiritualists.
Now, Harry Price was one of the original investigators, known as the grandfather of the paranormal. He used various trigger objects in his experiments, which seemed to work for him. So hopefully I will get exactly the same results.
Ray is still sticking to his old school approach, and for me, I never saw someone investigating in such a manner.
Ray and Gaurav set up in what was once a playroom. Ray sprinkles powder on the chalkboard, then delves into his bag of marbles.
Smaller coloured marbles, Graf.
Great.
Which I'm going to place within the powder there as well. Actually, maybe two. There we go.
To capture any movement on photograph, a time-lapse camera is set up.
I'm actually just going to place it on the arm of the chair, Gaurav, there.
Let's go out.
Figuring the kids will come out to play if left to their own devices, Ray and Gaurav exit. In the living room, Rob seemingly continues to be thwarted by a spirit.
Seemed like something kind of dark darted out of my field of vision on the right.
Yeah.
But who was it?
This gentleman is John, because I do believe his name is John.
Sure.
The most renowned John in the Gledswood saga is John Biggs, the convict groundsman killed by a falling tree. Rob's equipment has failed to capture evidence of his presence, but he decides to give it one more shot.
Well, here's the options we've got at present, right? We have the temperature. It'll monitor a change in the temperature. We have a voice recorder with the EVP booster, and we have a video camera here. What would he prefer to use?
Okay, yeah. You're gonna laugh at this. He likes me. He says, I like you, so obviously I'm going to be a facilitator for so long.
John, I didn't do anything to you. Listen, here's the thing, John. I came here to communicate with you and help you if I can. If that's not something you're interested in, I'm okay with that too.
Biggs has left the building, possibly to loiter on the lawn.
I'm just drawn here. I'm feeling it could be John. I'm feeling it, yeah, not could, it is.
Newspapers of the day reported that Biggs died immediately when struck by the tree.
I don't think John was killed instantly.
No?
No.
Feel he suffered a little?
Yeah, I can see him dragging, crawling. But as I walk, I'm walking away here, and I can just see his apparition fade away. But when I close my eyes and tune in, it's almost as if I want to go straight onto the gravel. And you know, the funny thing is I've just realised, I've just opened my eyes properly and I've realised exactly what I'm stood smack in front of the steps.
So you are.
The investigation of Gledswood Homestead has become a clash between the psychic
Really, really quickly, I can hear noises straight away.
and the scientific.
You were having a little chat while I'm trying to do EVP work.
Yeah, yeah.
Not happy with either of you at the moment.
Even the team techies have sensed the spirits,
It almost feels like someone breathing.
Yeah.
but nothing has registered on their equipment. Now, medium Ian Lorman has channeled his most vivid vision.
I don't think John was killed instantly.
In 1858, Gledswood groundsman John Biggs was killed by a falling tree. Reports at the time state he died instantly from head injuries. But Ian's psychic vision tells a different story.
So in my opinion, this gentleman was crawling to get help. Unfortunately, the fractured skull got to him before anyone else, which was quite sad. You tend to find the horrific, the death, or the more traumatic, they're the ones wanting to talk to us and explain what happened.
With Raylene's earlier basement tour cut short by a reptilian run-in, Gaurav feels the area warrants further investigation.
All right, I'm in the cellar. All I can see is my camera light.
This is where the photo of what is believed to be a little girl ghost was taken by a tour member. Gaurav is keen to capture evidence of the supposed spirit. He employs a full-spectrum stills camera, which reads ultraviolet and infrared, as well as standard white light. Essentially, it sees what the human eye cannot.
A lot of people have seen a little girl here. Are you here with me? My name is Gaurav Tiwari. What's your name? Can you show yourself to me? I'm not here to harm you or disturb you. I'm trying to click pictures. And I want you to show in one of the pictures, if you can. Can you make any noise, any sound to let me know that you are here?
I just heard a footstep.
A photo, taken moments after Gaurav heard the footsteps, shows an anomalous shape jutting from the wall. In the previous photograph, the shape seems to be forming. In the following shot, it is missing altogether. Zooming in digitally, a human face emerges. Is it the face of a little girl peeking at Gaurav? Unfortunately, the image is grainy. Gaurav is unable to declare it an apparition. Having closed the lid on their parlour investigation, Rob and Raylene are exiting the homestead. But, stepping out the door, Raylene feels she's been entangled in a paranormal web.
It was just like this. Like I'd walk like that, and I'd just walk.
Yeah, that happened to Ray before.
Because she was ahead of me, and I've come out, and it's just about, I'd say about here.
That feeling of cobwebs is it's an ion change.
Normally, changes in ionization occur before or after an electrical storm, and the night skies over Gledswood are clear. So Rob proffers another explanation.
But no, the downside is that there are a lot of cobwebs here.
Hi, but I'm down here, Rob.
Yeah, but if I mean, you see what I'm saying,
already
though.
walked past. You was in front of me, so how does that happen?
To see if the Chisholm children took the bait, Ray and Gaurav returned to the playroom. Earlier, Ray sprinkled powder on a plate and laid marbles on top.
You think your marbles have been moved?
I've noticed that this ball here has now got powder all around it as if it's been rolled.
However, corroboration is required from the time-lapse camera.
So let's see what we have got in our pictures.
Yeah, let's have a look.
But when Ray checks, the camera batteries, which were fully charged, have been inexplicably drained. A phenomenon paranormal investigators believe to be indicative of ghostly activity. Raylene enters the coach house. Instantly, she senses something upstairs.
Oh my God, it feels horrible. All right. Someone just tapped me on the top of my head. Okay, I haven't even got up the stairs yet. That's not fair. I'm going slowly but surely up the stairs. Whoa.
Unlike the convict lockup earlier, the coach house has Raylene on edge.
It's an old museum. And actually, when I walked in earlier, I heard a lot of noise up here. And there's been lots of reports of this area in particular being... Oh, I just felt something again. I keep feeling like someone's tapping my head or touching my hair. Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa.
Recovering from her scare by the spooky swagman, Raylene's creeping dread returns.
I feel like I'm still being watched. Oh! Jeez. Okay, I'm happy to leave this area now. Whoa. I do feel throughout the whole investigation in there, I had the energy around me from one side to the other and then behind me.
On the front lawn, having unraveled the mystery of the groundsman's death, Ian is ready to return to Surveillance Central. But at the last moment, a wispy figure streaks past him in the dark. As we look closer, it appears to have human form. Trying to unlock the paranormal secrets of Gledswood Homestead, our ghost hunters have had a frustrating night. Raylene believes she channeled a little girl.
I just see this amazing redness all over her.
Gaurav thought he caught her on camera, but the results proved inconclusive. Resident ghost John Biggs refused to go on record for Rob.
John, I didn't do anything to you.
But Ian claims he tuned into his spirit.
I can see him dragging, crawling. When I close my eyes and tune in, it's almost as if I want to go straight.
But the inexplicable figure, captured on camera behind Ian, seems to be tuning out for the night. Unfortunately, the image is too dark and its appearance too fleeting for analysis. Again, evidence eludes our investigators. Unlike the psychics, the tech team seems to have been foiled by the supposed spirits of Gledswood. Nevertheless, they're determined to analyze the results of their efforts. But first, they need to let off some steam. In true colonial style, they plan to explore the grounds of Gledswood on horseback.
This is Gaurav, Raylene, Ray, and Alan. And Ian, we're in here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm watching.
As it turns out, our psychic bad boy harbors a mortal fear of horses.
Kind of paranoid that they're behind me now. I feel really, really anxious. They're really close to me. I know there's a fence and they're reined up, but I have this massive fear, even as a child.
In fact, Ian has never so much as patted a horse.
I can't answer the root of my problems. It's just the sheer fear inside me as soon as I see one.
I kind of felt that Ian was challenging me for most fearless ghost hunter. Where is he now? Oh, I'm scared of a horse. Look, buddy, you can take that back to England, because that doesn't fly here in Australia.
For me, I think he should just face his fears, come with us, get on the horse. We're a team, we look after each other, and just go for it.
And imagine that you're sitting in a room with 2 big TV sets.
Again, it's Gaurav to the rescue. Among his other accomplishments, Gaurav is a certified hypnotist. He believes he can hypnotize Ian into overcoming his fear of horses.
Whoosh! Black and white TV. Ian Lawman is afraid of horses. He's petrified. You don't want to go near them. Whoosh! Color TV. Ian Lawman is no more afraid of the horses. Whoosh! Back to black and white TV.
What I did with Ian was a visual squash technique where I replaced his old feelings for horses with a new one.
The team gathers in a show of support.
There you go. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thanks.
Nevertheless, Ian remains reluctant to ride one.
I'm not going to lie and say, you know, they're my best buddies now and I'm going to go out and buy one. But yeah, I felt okay.
Alan is bailing out as well. He's claiming a bad back. That leaves the fearless foursome.
I must admit, I'm quite anxious about coming off and hurting myself, a bit apprehensive. Oh. What's she doing that for? Does she not like me?
Oh, there you go.
I don't like... Oh.
The ride ambles along pleasantly until Rob's mount comes to a dead stop.
Yep. Come on, Ben.
Our team leader can take the reins on an investigation, but apparently not on a horse.
Yep. He's trying to bite me.
Eventually, he gets Ben back on course. Displaying a good seat, Gaurav fares much better.
I definitely felt like a cowboy without a hat riding on a horse.
Ray is thrilled just to stay aboard.
So I really feel proud of myself that I didn't give up. Yeah, I'm really proud, actually.
And what about Ian? Did Gaurav's horsey hypnotherapy hold?
Even now, looking over there at the horses in the distance, I still feel, could I really do it? And in my head, I'd like to try.
But Ian's equestrian aspirations will have to wait as our ghost hunters head back inside the house that offered such spirited resistance to their investigatory efforts. First issue on the table is Raylene's sticky encounter with a supposedly invisible cobweb.
It was just like this. Like I'd walk like that, and I just walked.
Yeah, that happened to Ray before.
Ray reports he was similarly ensnared.
When I entered the side doorway, I felt like I walked into cobwebs, so I looked back at the door, there was nothing there.
A Gledswood tour guide reported this as a common occurrence.
And she said that the reason I felt as if I was walking through cobwebs, she said that I was walking through 3 spirits, so 3 generations of the Chisholm family.
I'll tell you the truth, I don't believe it. I think if you get that feeling, we know that that is an ion change. It's not walking through 3 ghosts at the same time.
See, when I work with spirit, that's the first thing I feel. I walk into a location, I have that cobweb sensation all over my body. If I don't get that cobweb sensation, I feel there's no spirits here for me to communicate with, no link. I need that feeling.
Ian's feelings on investigation night were vivid. None more so than his purported vision of the death of John Biggs.
I don't think John was killed instantly. I was aware of a thump on my head. As I looked up, I could see this tree or this branch falling down. I can remember falling to the floor, but I wasn't dead. I wasn't knocked out clean. I can remember feeling wetness around my head, so I know there's a lot of blood there, and I was crawling, but as I was crawling, I was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So I was guiding myself across the floor, and when I turned the torch on, I was smack in front of the main entrance. So, in my opinion, this man was trying to crawl to get into the house to ask for help.
Ian's compelling account has even science-minded skeptics softening.
It would be really easy for a psychic to come forward and say, well, you know, I know the history of the place. Guy got hit in the head and died right here. But that's not what you got. And even if that challenges the official history, so you didn't go a safe route and just say, I'm sensing what I heard. You're being real about it, and I like that.
Psychic Raylene Cable recorded an EVP, or electronic voice phenomenon, in the convict quarters when she believed she was communicating with the spirit of little Isabel Chisholm.
I actually had a visual of Isabella. I also had my voice recorder recording, and this is what I got. Yeah, Mummy, she's saying something about Mummy. Give me a little bit more, darling.
Wow.
Clear, yes.
Raylene's EVP has what sounds like a girl's voice responding to her question.
Mummy, give me a little bit more, darling.
The EVP is a Class A. All 5 of us here independently heard the same yes. It's confirming a statement you made, so it's actually important to the conversation. It's a great example of the kind of evidence we're trying to find, so good job.
The investigation of Gledswood Homestead has proved a victory for the spiritual over the scientific.
What frustrates me, you guys have got all the technical equipment and nothing happens. What happens? Why can't you pick anything up?
Nothing seemed to happen for us at all. Particularly for me, it was just flat. There was nothing.
See, what you did, you tapped into the consciousness of the spirit and you felt the history, what happened with the spirit. It was not a kind of communication or an intelligent communication that we could have captured on our equipments or cameras.
The tech guys were frustrated. We want those EVPs. We want more video. We want to see those ghosts like you guys do. But this time it was not to be, but we still came out okay.
One for the psychics.
A message for the tech guys. I've just got this message coming through.
I think you tech guys really need to up your game, you pretty pants.
Sorry, wasn't me.
So Ian Lawman, you laid down the challenge, but we're going to get you next time.
So Ian, he had some comments for the tech department today, and now I have a comment for Ian Lawman. Ian Lawman, the UK psychic bad boy. Straight from America, Rob Demarest says, watch your back.
Adelaide Arcade, South Australia, home of Australia's most infamous ghost.
Francis, are you here? And I know this place.
What the f is that?
Haunting Australia, all new next Tuesday at 10, only on Sci-Fi.